Hello, welcome back to Grey the Gold Witch. Today we're doing a reading on their true feelings for you. So we're going to be looking at exactly what this connection is to confirm who you're thinking about, and then we're going to be diving into their feelings and how they see you, how this connection will move forward, any obstacles preventing this connection moving forward, and potential outcomes, the current expected outcome, even of just like the next move in the relationship. That definitely will be a subjective part of the reading. So we have 4 piles today. We have Celestite, Black Obsidian, Rose Quartz, and Carnelian. So meditate on these piles, feel what one draws you towards this connection you're thinking of, and I will see you in your reading. Hi, pile 1. This is your reading on their true feelings. So this pile is very special because whenever I started thinking about doing this reading, I had a picture of Celestite just pop up in my brain. And there's a crystal shop like a 15-minute walk from where I live, give or take. And I went and I got Celestite, and I've just been I've moved only a little bit and it crumbled. And I'm just really sad about it. And it felt so important to your reading. And Celestite's such a delicate crystal that I have to accept that, these things happen, but it was really frustrating because it felt so beautiful and special, and now I feel like I can't touch it. So I'll put it here. See, it's so sad. Okay, so we're gonna look at their energy, your energy, and the energy between you. And this is confirmation as well as getting into the psychoanalysis of it. So yeah, if this doesn't sound like you and your person, try a different pile, or this might be someone who is coming in that you didn't expect to come in. So we're starting with Buddha wisdom cards. So this overall, their overall wisdom, their overall theme is form does not differ from void. Form is void. Outer difficulty will be resolved with inner truth. And then for their higher self, we have the gazelle in reverse. For their shadow self, we have the dolphin. For this card, we have the sustainer. And we have the 10 of cups. And how you're coming at the relationship with your theme is fall in love with yourself again to bring in the love of your life. For your higher self, we have the spider. For your shadow self, we have the swan. For your archetype, we have the shaman. And then Page of Swords for you. And then you both have rotation as your collective energy, and 7 generations legacy. So I think that this person's very much in their head right now surrounding your connection. I don't think you guys are talking as much as you usually do or you have in the past. It might even be a no contact type of situation, but this person's remembering all these good times they've had with you and the true fulfillment that you bring their life, and how when you were in their life, when you are, you make it brighter, you make it more fruitful. I'm thinking about survival versus sustainment. You add, it's like they live on the bare minimum. They live on survival of like basic needs, food, eating, etc. And you just add excitement and beauty to all of these things. And they feel that. They feel that you are a beautiful creator of your reality. And they view you as really all they could hope for. This is very much soulmate energy. This is true happiness. It's almost hard to articulate. And I think that's why this person is so in their head, is they see this beauty, they see this greatness, and it's like almost like sensation overload. It's like hyperactivity. It's not something that they're able to ground in their reality. It's a feeling that they have so strongly, but they don't know how to bring it down. And it's interesting, this card about form not differing from void. Form is void. It's almost as though this person can't ground this until they go into their innermost, like the inner truth, the inner sanctum of who they are and what they want, and really go into themselves to be able to form this, to ground this into reality. Because really what I'm seeing here is this person sees all of this beauty, all of this fulfillment, this happiness, this juxtaposition. It's almost like they put you on a complete pedestal. And I think it might be something like when they're really anxious, you're a comforting thought. And yeah, it's almost as though they think they can lean on you, that you would help them survive. Oh, it's almost like, I don't want to say using you, but it's very much I'm seeing that this is a pattern that you have had with them. You watch their behavior, you watch them, and this energy very much hurt your dignity in some way. It hurt your feelings. It hurt how you presented in the world because you felt used. And it's made you be someone who is very, almost maybe too controlling of what goes on in your life and trying to control the narrative because you felt so out of control in this situation. And you know that it's their hurt that brought you here. So yeah, their true feelings, we can start here. They think the world of you, but they see you as a savior. And I think you've tried to help them before, and you were being pulled underwater with him. It's like you had a life raft and they were trying to take it from you or something. Like they really drained you. And you've been in a phase where you're really loving yourself, where you're bringing love, bringing love into your life that is affirming, and you've fallen in love with yourself and seen all the beautiful gifts that you had to offer. And you might not have seen them really, truly, when you first started this. So this person, I think, has been a very good mirror to you in seeing what your true values are, how you need to be an individual in your own right, and not need anybody to survive or to succeed, or needing yourself, and realizing who you can trust. I think realizing who's really there for you. The 7 generations reminds me of, it's legacy, it's ancestry, it's those who come before, those who follow. And this person has taught you a lot about legacy and how you want to be remembered, because how you remember this person is unfortunate for them. And yeah, you want to be more intentional with how you operate in the world and build a legacy. So with this rotation card here, I'm seeing you're both living your life, your day-to-day, in the patterns you always do. For you, I'm seeing you really don't want to disrupt this pattern. It is not in your best interest, I'm hearing, to disrupt this pattern, and this person coming in would be a disruption. And I see that they were in the past, and you've lost this rhythm of building. Maybe you didn't even have it in the past, really, but you've built such a solid pattern of life, and they don't belong in it, and you're not going to. This is also a big thing of people pleasing. You're not going to people please this person to feel better about yourself. You don't need to people please. You've created strong boundaries. You're able to observe and discern this person's intentions, this person's motives, where their behavior comes from. You're very aware of that, and we can see that in the Page of Swords. But yeah, it's funny now looking at the Celestite. It's like you being this otherworldly, beautiful being, that this person sees that about you. But this situation, having to someone's weight on you like this, just kind of crushing you a little bit. And so it's hard to know where to start here, because I feel like this has been a very formative experience in your life, and this feels like someone who is popping in to try and get your attention in this reading. I don't think this is someone you necessarily wanted to hear from. This is someone who absolutely hurt you. And I think maybe even pushed you into your more shamanic, like, energy. It brought up more psychic space. Yeah, this is someone who maybe you got a text from them. Maybe they've tried to come back into your life, and maybe you're curious, like, well, what is this person doing? What are these person's motives? I think that's really what you want to know. And their motives are that they're drowning, and they see you as a safety net. They see you as, they've put you on a pedestal of perfection, of the ideal life. For some reason, ideal wife. I just see you're not having any of it. You are in a rhythm of your life that's really working for you, and you do not need to step out of that. If anything, the more you do this, the more empowered you'll be, and the more of the right things that fit the rhythm of your life will come in. So yeah, that's cool. Let's look at their true feelings. So we're gonna look at how they feel about you, how they feel about this connection, what would they say to you, obstacle to their feeling and movement and end result of this connection outcome. Okay. All right. So on the back of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords. Yeah, this situation is just like, frankly, anxiety inducing. Like, this person really isn't worth the air you breathe. Not that they aren't worth it, but in your life path, they're not meant to continue with you. They would just be an energy vampire sort of situation, how those are described. And they need to do their own work, and it doesn't need to involve you at all. So the way they see you, oh my God. Okay, this isn't surprising though, with the 10 of Cups and Sustainer and the Dolphin. Like, this person sees you as ideal fulfillment, as the entire package, as everything they could want. But it's coming from a place of selfishness, of wanting to use you, of thinking this person could shine their light on me and I'll expand tenfold. Like, they completely, like, their whole perception of you is wanting to use you. And it is interesting because they're coming at this from not having self-awareness of their intentions. They're just thinking, wow, it's like, oh, this is not the perfect example, but it's like Frodo. No, it's not Frodo, Gollum with the ring, and just being so in awe of it and not being able to detach from it, and really look at it from a reasonable, I don't know, that's probably not the right example at all, but this person isn't able to find level-headedness here or be brought to reality because they see you as this Madonna sort of situation. There's this song by Lily Allen called Sleepwalking, where she says, I don't want to be your Madonna, I want to be your whore. And I don't know, that line really hits, I don't know, I really love it because the Madonna whore complex is just so fascinating. And as we talk about psychoanalysis here, that might be relevant to this group as well. So, and that might be how they hurt you as well, is putting you on this pedestal really made you have to live up to a standard that wasn't possible. And that's the same energy they're in, is wanting you to give something that's impossible. So how they see the relationship, the High Priestess. So they are able to intuit that this isn't in the cards for them. I think they see how formative it was, how important it was, how sacred even for them. But they see moving on. They see that it's unattainable for them. They definitely feel like there's something divine that happened here, but they're not able to articulate what. They think that this was a higher power sort of experience. But they also know, at their core, they know that, oh, I don't know, it's like kind of like, do they know that they've messed this up this badly? This is another, like, the High Priestess. At first I was thinking just about intuitive knowing, like maybe they just were able to feel like that they messed up here, but it almost feels like they're looking at you as this intuitive, strong person, and they think that's just making them think that the relationship will have some sacred turn of events, when in reality the sacred turn of events was for you to leave this and come into your own power, see what someone saw you as, and never sacrifice yourself for someone like that again. So what would they say to you, Father of Wands? They would beyond their BS, honestly. They would be arrogant, cocky. They would think there was a way they needed to portray themselves to be successful here, to be enough here. And it would be just like very off-putting. You wouldn't be interested in it. This person would say all the wrong things. And it would feel just like confirmation. Like there's no way that this will come in again, because they've dug a very, 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 very deep hole, and they do not have a ladder. And they're in the hole, obviously. So here are the obstacles to, like, why is this so impossible for them? This feels like divine protection for you. The Spirit wants ultimate happiness for you to find what really you deserve and what speaks to you. And it's your happiness that's on the table. That's really what's supposed to matter. So this isn't going to happen because you are insanely protected. And I think you already are seeing what fulfillment looks like to you. And that's just simply not this. So fulfillment's winning over everything. And when you came to this reading, I think you were wanting to hear from someone who has this fulfillment that's blocked this from ever coming in. And I definitely would look for that in this reading, because I feel this fulfillment is in your life in many, many ways, not just a person. It's in who you innately are and how you let your soul live in the world. If you let your soul live it the way it wants to, or if you restrict it. So this is the outcome. The Empress. BS by Jhené Aiko is playing in my head. Yeah, you're just gonna level up. Like, this is your outcome of this is you being stronger and stronger. And you're gonna be at a place where it's just gonna, I mean, I think you already feel sad for whoever this is, but you're just gonna be like in a whole new level of fulfillment and hope and peace, and it's just gonna feel so, this is all gonna feel really irrelevant to you as your life continues. And what you really want, I see you rooting right now into the world that's meant for you, into the life that's meant for you. And you're rooting in a fundamental, beautiful, intentional way that this is going to lead to like a beautiful harvest, because your intentions, the seeds you planted were planted with intention and love and hope. That's what they're creating. So yeah, my roommate and I, have finally settled into our apartment, and I have this evil eye crystal thing that I have used in other readings actually. And I had one at my old apartment on the door, and it was just like asking for the best of energy to be in this household, and not for not lower vibrations to come in. And I was thinking, like, holding it, setting my intention for it, wanting to know, or wanting to put the best energy into it. And I was about to put it up, and then I was like, my roommate should bless this too. Should put this intent into it too. So I think it's very important that in your future, in the steps you make with people, that you're making wishes on your life with the same intent, with the same like being on the same page. So to close, oh, this poor crystal. We're gonna look at this card I surge on the uprising wave of love, number 5. I'm not going to read this whole passage, but let me read what calls to me. Greater forces of planetary movements affect us all. We experience day and night through the interplay of the Earth, Sun, and Moon. This is a profound and obvious effect. The movements of the cosmos affect us deeply, body and soul. Some movements are perhaps less obvious in form, but are just as great, if not more so, an effect upon our spiritual growth and life experiences. You are going through a cycle, or very soon will be, by which you'll be moved by forces greater than your own personal will. This is a karmic period, a time during which the movement of greater planetary bodies will have an impact upon Earth and the humanity. This is the way of things, greater cycles affecting smaller ones. The smaller ones are not less important, but they do have to bow to the power of the great, in oneness with the magnificent unfolding divinity that is life itself. Wow, okay, this really does feel... This oracle comes with a message for you. There are changes happening and they will be out of your control. This is because you are ready for accelerated life change. Rather than paddling, you'll be caught up in a wave and move faster, farther. Let yourself surge on with the energy of what is happening, leading with your heart and just going with whatever unfolds. This will bring you the best fortune and open you up to the divine destiny that is your birthright this lifetime. So I think this karmic situation, experiencing this, did fast track you towards your divine destiny, towards this abundance. I think it was a really difficult lesson to learn, but it was meant to happen. It was a part of your divine tapestry. It was weaved into the web of your life, and it was so that all of this beauty could grow. And I think thinking about the fact that the planets were connected to this, your destiny was, gives peace to some of the pain of the past and kind of hope for the future, because this led to you figuring out what fulfillment really is to you. So yeah, pile 1. This is a beautiful reading. For a second, I just got scared it's not recording. I really hope it's recording. I really think you're amazing and have grown so much and have found fulfillment and done the necessary work. And yeah, you should be really proud of yourself. So this is what I'm getting. I will see you soon. If you chose this black obsidian arrowhead, this is your reading on their true feelings. So firstly, we're going to look at both your feelings. We're going to look at both of you and just see how both of you are coming towards this relationship. And this is meant to be a confirmation check on if this is the person you're thinking about. And this could also be someone else coming through who you didn't ask about, who wanted to come through. So use discernment on that. And yeah, let's see. So for the person, their overall theme is fall in love with yourself again to bring in the love of your life. And then their higher self is the black egg in reverse. Their lower self is the butterfly. Their shadow self. Their archetype card is the threshold. And 2 of Swords in reverse. And for you, we have, as you perceived it, birth is coming and death is going. You're bound by the mental obstacles. Your higher self, the cobra, reverse. Your lower self, the elephant. I don't know why I keep saying lower. Shadow self, the elephant. The unseen, and the Ace of Pentacles. And then together, you have reddening. And winter solstice, hibernation, 34, but it came out reversed. So this is interesting. Got a lot of reversals here. I'm also realizing the camera is not, or the candle is not lit. So one moment. So right now in this connection, you are feeling kind of cast out to sea. You don't feel like you know what to do next. I see that this person isn't telling you the full truth, and it feels like they have to decide whether or not to love themselves or self-sabotage. And that's going to have a big impact on how you guys move forward together. This person immensely cherishes relationship and really, I think, wants it. But there's something in them that stops. For you, it feels like you are in the midst of figuring out kind of your next steps in your life in general. It feels like you are kind of in a place of fog, like you don't know where you're going next or what is happening. You have seen time and time again that you are blessed, that things work out, but I think right now you're really having a hard time seeing how things are meant to play out, what the divine, what the universe is doing in your life. And it's almost as though you're putting focus on this because you're waiting for a beginning. And there's other places that are meant to begin that will give you peace regarding this. Because I think what the truth is that as you begin other things in life, this person's going to work on their healing. This person is needing to choose themselves or choose self-destruction. And it really feels like this can't be ignored anymore. This is something that has to be done. And it does feel like both of your wounds are on display. You're feeling pain. You're feeling release as well. You're feeling your livelihood, your life. Yeah, you both feel alive. And I think that that's one of the things that really connects you two is this life that you feel when you're around each other. There is an aliveness. But it's almost as though you're about to have some things happen that take your mind off of this kind of suddenly. I think you don't see them coming. They're gifts from the universe. And you won't have the ability to focus on this. You will be put in other arrangements, which is perfect, honestly, because this person has work to do on themselves. They have an individual journey to go on before they're able to meet you where you're at. And there is extreme life here. Even with the winter solstice in reverse, it just feels elemental. It feels essential. So what's happening here is very destined. And it's already begun. But for all intents and purposes, this is someone who can't come correct until they have a good relationship with themselves. And I think they're starting to admit that to themselves, and really it's their journey to go on. And it's as though life is pulling you away from them. Honestly, you're headed towards some financial success, some surprise. You don't see any of this coming. You don't see the beauty in your life coming, these new things. I think you take on a teacher role, and I think that there's immense prosperity here. So yeah, let's look at your feelings. So we're going to do how they feel about you. They think you're really spiritually connected. How they feel about the relationship. How they feel what they're going to do the next time, or like what's their plan with you. What obstacles are currently in the way. And what in the current state of things, what outcome is being led to. And we have the 8 of Pentacles on the back of the deck, which always reminds me, I mean, it's really a card about working and, you know, doing the practice necessary to create results. And I think that you are going to be in a mindset like that, where you are weaving your web, you're making patterns of your life. And I do think that you will have work to do. You won't feel, I think right now you have an empty space you're filling with this thought, but the time is coming where you don't have to worry. It's almost like there's a little bit of a codependency here, looking at what this person's doing, and you need some work to fill your life to help that. So how they feel about you. 6 of Cups in reverse. They love you so much. And it keeps coming through that they know they can't love other people as well until they love themselves. So they do feel held back in some sense, like they need help. They need help from people who aren't you. They need to go places for help that they aren't so deeply attached, that can be more transactional, that can be more beneficial. There's an attachment here that this person recognizes that they know can't be there when they're working this hard on themselves. And they're actively deciding to work on themselves. And really right now they're deciding whether or not to. But they know that their dependence on you their dependence on you isn't what's gonna make this happen. So for how they feel about the relationship, we have the Emperor. 2 trees, that's cool. I think that they need to root somewhere else to find who they truly are. I think that they feel a little dependent on this relationship, a little disempowered, and this is not your fault at all. This is them needing space to grow. And this person just feels so strongly for you, but knows that they can't grow if they're reliant on you. is really what it comes down to. And they want to grow. They want to be able to come back to this relationship in a healthier, independent, loving way. And what are they going to do? Father of Wands. I think when you're dealing with them, they might show more of their negative self sometimes. Just take out some stuff on you. And I think this is with love. This is, this is because they feel comfortable with you. They feel like they can be themselves. So they show you the worst parts. And I think it's important for you to realize that that's not how they are all the time, that you're getting one sliver of the pie and it just happens to be an unfair part. And I think you can voice this to them, and that you need to interact where they're not taking it out on you. And really, it just feels like this person's going through it. And their true feelings are that they wish they could be there for you in the way you need and want. But they have a lot on their side of the table that they've got to figure out. And until they do that, they're not going to be able to come in the way you want them to. And other existing obstacles. So they need community outside of you. They need a life outside to be able to come correct. They need to have kind of a expansion of social friendship, relationship, and making sure that it's solid ones, not hurtful ones, or not difficult. I'm seeing that whenever this person experiences love in their life through people that they get to know, they'll be better able to express this love as well. This feels community oriented. And for those who picked this pile, it really does feel as though this could be someone, this could be a child or a close friend or someone that really you have some level of codependency with. And goes to show that everything here, they need to work on themselves to make this happen. There's nothing you can do to make it happen for them. Those of you who've stayed, you are such a loving, amazing person in this person's life. They're so lucky to have you. But now it's time to detach yourself and trust that they will do the work they need to do on themselves, and that you're not going to be the one to do that. So, and outcome. Look, the outcome is the Six of Wands. Yeah, if you trust, when they go off and do this on their own, they will reach success. They will have this fulfillment. And really, I think this is taking space, trusting that you don't have to watch a tree grow. If you stare at a tree the whole time it grows, it'll be incredibly slow. But if you take some time away, trust that it's still growing, and come back to it, you'll be astonished by how it's grown. And I think that's what's being highlighted here, is with that space, you're going to have so much happiness having these revelations. And I think you're going to be busy, and that the universe is making you busy so that you take your mind off this and let it grow on its own. So to close, we have let love transform. I was telling pile 1 that I'm going to read what feels relevant to me. This oracle comes to you as a living spiritual gift. Whether you realize it or not, you have triumphed. You have blossomed, succeeded, cast aside that which was unworthy, and taken up love's way. How much delight there is from all those that walk this way of love, of life, to find another precious companion in their midst. You are welcome into this world where love finds a way. There is nothing impossible for love. It is not bound by the mind, and because of this, all manner of miraculous grace works through it in endless creative variety. The great beloved is a show-off, creating with such genius as to be breathtaking. Were we able to remain always in the heart, we would be constantly breathless, in a fit of appreciation and awe so great, truly there would not be even a sliver of emptiness through which fear could enter. So, this divine fulfillment is happening here. It is not in your power to change it. It will happen as it does. And it says detach yourself from expectations of timing. And in retrospect, you'll know with certainty that this was the best way. Yeah, so really what this oracle is asking is for you to surrender and trust and detach. And yeah, let their life blossom on its own. And you'll be so happy to see these results. So this is what I'm getting for you, pile 2. It was an honor to read for you. I will see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you chose this rose quartz heart, then this is your reading on their true feelings. So we're going to first look at who this person is, how they are directed towards this relationship, your energy, how it's directed, and the overall energy of the relationship, and then we'll look at their true feelings. So this is the part where you figure out if this resonates or if this feels like the person you're asking about. And this could also be someone else who's trying to come through who you didn't ask about but has a message for you. Let's get into their energy. So firstly, we have their overall theme. Let go of clinging. View your situation as a witness. Your inner strength grows. Then we have the stingray in reverse, the otter in reverse, the village in reverse, and the Two of Swords. And then for you, we have fall in love with yourself again to bring in the love of your life, the firefly, the eagle, the siren, and the Knight of Cups. And then for both of you, we have gold and the creation story. Because you feel prepared, you feel balanced, and you look at things from a balanced place doesn't mean that the things outside of you are balanced. You respond directly to sparks of light, to flashes of insight, to beauty in your life, and you want to catch it. You want to have those moments become more permanent in your life. And I also think you're very determined. When you want something, you go for it with everything you have. And it really does feel like you're in this very beautiful energy of finding brightness in the world, finding romance, finding art. Your power is huge here. And rubber is coming into my head. Rubber is gold. Rubber is gold. My friend has a song called Silver is Gray. So this feels like their true feelings don't matter as much as the way you are perceiving them. And I think whenever you find these sparks of light, this determination, it sucks you in. The siren's all about temptation. You are kind of pulled into one idea, one maybe person that can fill your cup, be this romance, this brilliance, because you see it in your life. But thinking it's this other person, or thinking that this specific person, we're going to dive into their energy, but it really feels like this isn't about them. This is about you looking for this, and this isn't where it is. You are on a pathway of creation, and we see that in these cards. This is all creation. This is all carving your story. And the matter of fact truth is that they were meant to be some, like, a person on your path, but not where your path was leading. And this gold, it feels like you thought you'd find this gold in this situation because you felt these sparks of love. This Knight of Cups, these firefly feelings, these determination, when you feel it, you are all hands on deck. You are ready to make things happen. And I think you're learning not to place this energy on a person outside of yourself. Sometimes things in creative works can have this energy, but you can't give it to something that hasn't shown its true nature to you. Because I really see that if you look at this objectively, this situation, this person is in deep pain and struggling with social conviction, struggling with identity, I think this person might have some biased views that you really don't stand for. This person is struggling to even become whole in themselves, and this is work you've been doing for years. And maybe this person's been distant. This person isn't giving you what you want, what you deserve to be given, because you have this powerful energy. You deserve it in return. That's just not happening here. When I said this person was rubber, I think what's really happening here is your light is bouncing off of them and being reflected back to you, and you're thinking it's coming from them. But this is someone showing you your power. I think this is the point of this lovely person. I think this person is great. I think you truly love them and see beauty in them. But I think you fail to see how much of what you're seeing is you being reflected back. Yeah, so the purpose of this lesson in this relationship, I think really it was meant to reveal to you this light you have, this romance, this power, and not to run towards things that are only reflecting you. Like, we like the bright and shiny thing we see outside of ourselves, and I think you have that characteristic of being shiny, and because you're seeing a reflection of it, you're falling into an illusion of separating this from yourself. And misplacing it. And I think you even come into this reading wanting to know their true feelings is wanting to know more about this energy, wanting to also, Spirit wants you to claim it rather than project it outside of yourself. And with this creation story, this is a part of you coming into this power. Our lives are us coming into ourselves again and again. Fall in love with yourself to bring in the love of your life. You are going through these cycles of experiencing this pattern so that you continue to grow in your confidence, grow and see your beauty. And then this is going to lead to fulfillment and blessings for you. And this is truly like my channel's about gold is very important to me. This alchemical beauty and richness. There's just so much to be said about gold. And I feel integrity and truth in it. And I think that this is molding you. And reflecting your gold. So, yeah. This person, they're feeling is that you might emasculate them in some way, honestly. If this is a man, or if this is someone who has heavy masculine qualities. It's like you're on this ledge, this cliff standing over an ocean, and they're swimming in the water down below you. And you're asking them to come up to you, but they have no way of doing that. So your only option would be to jump in with them. And that's not an option. That's not something you do. But it's interesting because the siren's here, and the siren lures people to the water. So this is also a test on if you're going to regress in this way and go back to lower nature things. Interesting. This is really interesting. I think what really should affirm you is that you're in this high level, this beautiful, fulfilled, spiritually led energy, and you're seeing it reflected back to you. And I think you're really meant to find places that innately have it and that are not mirrors, that are connected to the life force you're connected to with the same level of awareness as you. And even if this is felt awareness or soul awareness, these people aren't mentally aware of connecting to the soul force, but you'll be able to feel it when it's there. And not just see it, not just have a burst of feeling, you'll have a constant feeling of that fulfillment. So let's look at, okay, so we could look at this person's feelings towards you, towards this relationship. But what I really want to look at, and I hope you do too, is these fulfilling spaces that aren't mirrors. These deep fulfilling spaces that right now you're meant to discern. You're learning between the mirror and the true space. And I want you to find this true space so we can say, what does this space look like? Does this fulfillment look like? Where is it? How can pile 3 find it? Okay, we'll do any information you need to know moving forward. Back of the deck, we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, so for what is it? We have the Son of Swords. For where is it? We have the 3 of Swords. We have the Eight of Wands. How will you find it? Eight of Wands. And then Daughter of Pentacles. Okay, so this other fulfillment space is a person who is going through a wish fulfillment, a spiritual wish fulfillment that you also identify with. And you find this space is somewhere you go to be vulnerable. You open up vulnerably here. And you're really impressed by the determination and force, and you see the same energetic certainty of the eagle in this person. And okay, so we were just strongly interrupted, but where were we? We were at communication. We were at how this is going to come in. And we, as I said, communication, this is going to come in as you hearing from this person, you hearing people talk, you hearing people communicate about, I see this in a multitude of ways. You hearing about this person, you seeing this person, you hearing them speak, you attending events this person's at, you acting in groups. I see this being something that's happening to you when you're at an early stage in some sort of project. You are humbly moving towards your goals, and there's been some success. You're seeing progress, and this is a time that you're feeling fulfilled in that. And this kind of comes in a natural way. Like as that's happening, you feel this movement, these sparks happening in a part of your life that you trust. You trust this part of your life. You trust this vulnerability. And there's a lot to be said about this. I think you really see this person, this thing, for its brightness, for its magnetism, for its beauty. And whenever you look at them, you see that they have this too, and it's not just a reflection. And I want to see how we know it's not a reflection. Father of Cups. Just the way they present themselves. You're also able to compare this to past connections, to past people you have considered in the same way that I think romantically you're considering this person. And you see their strengths where other people needed to work on them. And something about this is that this person is very self-assured. Very self-assured. And it feels like they are independent in who they are and are interested in you as an independent person, growing, and they see that you are on the same path as them, following this one step at a time. I do see that this person might be older. They see you in this youthful energy. It's something they have inside of them. And It's so funny. I mean, this is just a really popular song right now, but the fate of Ophelia, it does feel like you're being saved from the fate of, you know, being lost and hurt by someone who can't give. I mean, that's a story of Hamlet. Hamlet treats Ophelia horribly. He completely disregards her, and she goes mad in the way he treats her. And it's so funny. I made a short film that right now I'm submitting to film festivals. We'll see what happens with it. But its core is based on the story of Hamlet. But the twist is, what if Ophelia came back to haunt Hamlet? And yeah, there's a strong reclamation of power I see here for you. So to close, we're going to look at this card, Sacred Convergence. As I've said for the other piles, I'm going to see what I feel intuitively led to read. Sacred Convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There's an aspect of joining together for common purpose, although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level of day-to-day consciousness. That's so funny, because it does feel like this convergence, this state you were in was meant for this convergence, and this state wasn't prepared for that. So you are being brought into sacred convergence. So this person's true feelings are a step in the direction to you to have this sacredness in your life. And I'm not saying this whole relationship is sacred as well. All of it's sacred. But this is where it's leading. This oracle comes with a special message. Perhaps you've been thinking about shedding lower vibrational connections based in the ego world of power games, sabotage, manipulation, and fear. Perhaps you've already begun this process, or even shed so many you are fearing you might have over-pruned to be left with nothing and no one. Do not fear, feisty angel of love. Your truth is prevailing. You cannot stay in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in a vibration of love. You can choose each day, each moment. The oracle comes to you with guidance that the possibility for more joyful relationships and growth of love within is in your power. You can choose each day, each moment. Just make a choice. Trust yourself, your discernment, and your intuition, and choose. You do not owe anyone anything. You only owe love the chance to grow. And that's love, the vibration that this all is on. So, yeah. Higher Love by, I believe, Whitney Houston is definitely the crux of this reading. Finding the love that really can meet you at that level. So this is what I'm getting for you. It was an honor to read for you, and I will see you soon. Hey, Pile 4, if you chose the Carnelian Bombstone, this is your reading on their honest feelings for you. So to start, I feel like this reading, I've really wanted it to be like these beautiful, really like happy feelings, and there is so much love here, but these readings have been very honest and transparent, and I want you to know that that's what you're getting from this, and I'm not going to sugarcoat what I see, and there's going to be beautiful things, but I also, in advance, I want to tell you it's going to be, well, we'll have to see with the cards, but yeah, if you're ready for that, then that's what this reading is. So for their energy, we have become the shelter of the world, a resting place for the broken and wounded. This is the true Bodhisattva path. Yep, so I probably said that wrong. And then we have sea serpent for their higher self, cosmic egg for their lower self, shadow self, the nectar, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. And for your energy, we have let go of clinging, view your situation as a witness, your inner strength grows. And then we have the peacock, fox, the poet, and the hanged man. So immediately after I've started reading, there's been a ton of noise outside, and that's kind of how it goes. I do think that in regards to relationship, I think even through it with people not being what aligned with you, the people presented to you. And what it really feels like is you had to go through a lot of life experience to kind of heighten in your inner strength. And the poet here makes me feel like you're a writer of some sort, you're an artist of some sort, and you've gone through a lot of life experience for these stories you tell. And what's interesting here is it feels like you are ready to take on a nurturing role. You feel like there's a compassion in you that wants to be utilized and projected into the world. And I think that's kind of where you're at in this moment, is finding ways to give people that compassion. And that's interesting. On their side, it says, become the shelter of the world, a resting place for the broken and wounded. So this is so funny. This is like the irony of the universe. While you're doing this, while you're working, I feel like you're not really even looking for love. And this has appeared. And this person has so much compassion and sees so much beauty in the world and has this way of perceiving the world that's really, really beautiful. And for some reason, they're looking at you as though you are closed off, you are cynical, it's funny because they see you doing this beautiful work, but they see maybe this self-criticism that you have that is making it hard for you to enjoy. It's like you are so compassionate to everyone around you, but you fail to be that way to yourself sometimes. And this also feels like a collective experience, like this is the soul of the world wanting you to find that love for yourself and see the nectar you bring, see the gift you are to the world, because you really are this strong gift who has helped so many people, who's helped the broken and wounded, and the kind of person meant to match you is someone who is in the exact same intent of life, in the same intent of values, of caring for others, of really this is soulfulness, and it's something that you can't fake. So it's something that you witness in another's compassion, and yeah, it's interesting. I think that this person sees you as guarded, as not letting people in, as boundaried, and to yourself. But then you give all of this love to other people, all of this respect, all of this care. And they almost wonder why you don't accept that, you don't receive that back to you. And this is something that will stay. This is something that isn't leaving. This respect and love and admiration of you. I think it's a witness to what all you are. And really, it's interesting that it's coming through that this guardedness, this self-criticism is really apparent because for some reason, Eye of the Tiger is in my head. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to treat yourself this way. And I think because you've gone through these difficult relationships, these difficult people, and that's why you want to help people too, is because you've been through difficulty. So you want to help other people who have been. And yeah, this just feels like pure love, the highest vibrational love. If you were to know the soul of the world's highest vibrational feelings, it would be this immense love and kind of connectedness of life energy, this where we can find this nectar in life, where we can find the hidden truths of the world, enjoy the beautiful feelings that come with life, really experience life and express life in a dynamic, fulfilling way. I'm thinking of like putting your head out of a car and feeling the wind on your shoulders or on your face, and jumping into a cold lake and feeling your sensory feelings activating. This feels like feeling alive. And maybe the reason that you're struggling with bringing, if you are struggling with bringing in people who align with you in partnership, maybe, is because you are critical of yourself and mean to yourself. And it's super subconscious. It's based on preconditioned experiences, and it's really important you know that it's not reality, it's an illusion. And so the more that you kind of open up to what comes and trust that the universe is bringing in this beauty, this love to you, you give this to so many people, you have to trust that's what's coming in for you. Because it is. You have karma that is bringing you like the beauty of these flowers and this openness and respect for yourself, this proudness for yourself. This is how that love comes in. And you are so tapped into the soul of the world, of existence, of experiencing life. But I think you aren't able to see how cynical you can be about yourself, or hard on yourself about things that have happened, or other people's perception. You are able to feel this like sacred, beautiful, soulful energy of life, and yet you still have this lower vibrational energy towards yourself. You direct it towards yourself sometimes. And so really the practice here is becoming aware of that and loving yourself as you are. Because this person I see you as, it's okay that you have boundaries. You should have boundaries. And this feels like someone who has experienced a lot of life, a lot of difficulty, and really been able to process it and see life for what it is and choose joy, choose happiness. And it's important you know that you are that happiness that can be chosen. You see like the focus of life and things you can focus on to make you happy. And you're that same concept to others. So embracing yourself as that light, as the same light that you try and find in your life, that's really what's going to bring in what you seek. Because if you have these lower vibrational thoughts about yourself and don't see yourself as that light, you are hiding yourself from things that could be right for you. It's interesting because you're in the spaces of choosing this good. You're around people who also choose this good, but it's almost as though you're hiding yourself in in a cloak of this self-perception. And when you see yourself as this light, as not just looking at it, but as being a part of it, that's where I really feel like you're gonna have success and happiness. And there is that love for you, but you must claim it as your own. So I forgot to do the energy cards that are between you. You have separatio and roots. So separatio, immediately I'm thinking you are not disconnected from this beautiful energy. This is your energy, and separating yourself from it is what causes this difficulty. And I think you've been running around two spaces that feel nurturing, waiting to feel like you can, waiting to be seen. But the thing is as long as you see yourself in this beautiful light as a part of the soul that you direct yourself towards in the world, that's what you're meant to do. And I'm seeing that you don't have to start over to do this. You can start where you are. Start where you are, plant seeds, treat yourself with this love, with this lightness, with knowing that you are this, and you will grow. This will grow. It might be a slow process, but it will bring in more of the connection you want, because this really feels like wanting deeper connection, wanting deeper love, wanting intimacy. And that's here, and the nectar also feels like that, romance. And what's cool about this being here, I hadn't even thought about it, is maybe you are skeptical of if this exists for you. When I started the reading by being like, oh, this is gonna be, I'm not sugarcoating anything, you probably were like, okay, good, because I don't believe this this like sugar-coated stuff that I sometimes see in readings. And this is really beautiful, because Spirit's saying this is here for you, and you have to embody it. You have to be a part of this beauty. You have to identify yourself as part of it to bring this in. So let's look at their true feelings. What are their true feelings? any advice for my Pile 4s? Okay. And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse on the back of the deck. So yeah, this is very much what you see is what you get when you feel love, when you are directed towards that love, realizing that that's inside you as well. So true feelings, the Lovers, yeah. It's like you are oriented looking at all of these beautiful geese. It's like you grew up like an ugly duckling in that story, and you find the geese. You're like, these are the most beautiful creatures I've ever seen. And they want you to come in with them, but you still treat yourself like you did when you felt like an ugly duckling, when you felt shamed by the people around you. But you're so directed and know that the light, these swans are where you're meant to go. And it's time for you to embrace that you're a part of this as well. The Hanged Man. Yeah, this feels like stagnancy. This pattern's been going on for a while, and it's time for you to see it for what it is and stop this stuckness, because once you do this, you're going to move with a lot of empowerment. The Hermit. This energy is really going to burst you back into reality and into living life around feeling like you can experience all that life has to offer, not feeling like you need to hide from it to protect yourself. And yeah, there's a level of confidence here that is really going to empower you and make you feel good just on a day-to-day basis, because you know where to go, what to look for to feel good. You know what that is, and that's the way you're oriented, but you also need to embody this. You have the World in reverse. Yeah, it's not out there. I think you've been searching for it all around, trying to find where you feel this way. But it's been something you could step into in like any time. And you're meant to step into it in a space that you root and you connect and you form deep connections, and it just feels like not running around trying to find this, but staying someplace where you feel this deep love, you feel this deep beauty, and claiming it as your own as well. The Ace of Pentacles. One way that this is going to come through is vocationally, in the work you do, in how you live your day-to-day life. I think by living in this love, it will be brought towards you. And I think there might be some just low self-esteem around work or around what you're capable of doing, or like being accepted for. Like, I think there's a rejection fear here, and fear of things not working the way that you want them to, but they will if you embody this light. So the Hierophant, yeah, there's a community that has this light, that has this electricity, the lightning and the key. So you're a part of this, and your individual efforts heighten a collective, add to a collective. This is really, really cool, Pile 4. This is not at all what I expected with this reading, but I'm so grateful to have been able to read it. I mean, this is really the next step in soul fulfillment, realizing what gives you that fulfillment, and then integrating yourself into it. So finally, we have Cosmic Heart number 8. This is something you're in the process of. It's not like this is a new thing. I think that subconsciously you've been in the process of seeing yourself as part of this, but now it's conscious. Now it's complete awareness. So there is a time on the journey of love when the beloved is prepared to engage more completely with the heart of the divine lover. The preparation will be a rich process, spiritually speaking. It may also feel like being beaten, pummeled, simmered, and stirred in a pot of the divine master chef to become a sacred and savory meal fit for the most heavenly of feasts. This is a courageous and bold process, one that will create the most delicious aromas in the world. And yet it is one that will likely take us right to the places we would rather avoid, places of confrontation with pain, but where the loss of its grip on our being no longer lets us quake and retreat from life in fear or uncertainty. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. More love is rushing toward you like a great comic tsunami. You will struggle with this blessing to the extent that you will attempt to hold on to what has been. So don't. Let go. Let it move you. You'll perhaps get some water up your nose, but nothing will come to you that you can't handle. This is so beautiful. Your destiny awaits you now. So yeah, flowing into this way of seeing yourself is really going to bring in changes that you've been waiting for, but in a way that you never could have seen coming. When you live in this light, you attract things to this light. So yeah, Pile 4, this is what I'm getting for you. I will see you soon. Bye.